from Dallas, Texas. Find us online at photoboothinternational.com.
Hello, everybody out there in entrepreneur land. It's your friend Lawrence, your friend
Alex,
and your better friend
Josh.
And we're here once again because we love you guys and we want to make sure that you're successful. And what we find to be successful to us and inspires us, we want to pass along to y'all because nothing's going to make us sleep better at night than actually contributing to your success and letting you sleep better at night. Not worrying about your children, paying the bills, what's going to happen 10 years from now, or if you're even going to be able to retire. So so that's why we're here today. Once again, third day in a row at GrowthCon. Out of all 3 days, you know, each day we come in, it's like, oh, today was my favorite day. I had this speaker. But I'd probably say today would be the most important. We got information the first 2 days, and then today we got to see and exactly see examples of how to execute it. And I'll tell you one anecdote. Blew my mind. He's got 2 daughters, 9-year-old, 6-year-old. First comes out the 9-year-old, kills it with a speech that at age 36 makes me feel ashamed of what I've done with my life. Not only that, then a 6-year-old came out. And she had a speech, and she made one statement that's sticking with me. And it's really good for society in general. I think it just shows how people view things, where our culture is at. You know, we're like 26th in chemistry amongst the world. We're like 19th in physics, and we're so far in math compared to other countries. And so she made the point that we send our children to school to learn, right? They're going to learn something every single day. What do? Do you learn something new a day? Do you learn anything every day? So she made the point, you know, I'm a 6-year-old. I'm learning something every day. Why aren't you? That blew my mind and made me feel pretty ashamed of myself. I do try to learn something every day. I read about everything from quantum physics to politics and everything, but I could do better. I could actually learn what I'm reading instead of just reading and trying to find something out. Would you guys agree?
Yes, absolutely. She was, you know, one thing that surprised me was the fact that, you know, how she wasn't nervous at all. You know, she took the mic and she said every word clearly. You know, she wasn't nervous or anything. And, you know, I wonder where she gets that from.
No, she owned this. Think about this, guys. A 6-year-old owned the stage and had 30,000 people captivated, silent, listening to her every word.
Roaring,
yeah.
Screaming, roaring. Better than some speakers.
Better than some speakers. Yeah, at 6.
Standing up,
seriously.
Standing up.
And she didn't even have a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
She wasn't reading off a script. She was just going off her heart and telling it. So that speaks volumes. So that really got to me. But today was all about execution. Information is great, right? We love learning things. We like telling people how smart we are. Hey, guess what I know? Oh, that's actually not the case. This is the case. And correcting people. That does not mean anything unless you execute it. What good is knowledge if you don't put it to use? So today was about execution. Everything we learned the past 2 days, how we can improve our lives, become successful, whether we want to be successful in our relationship, with our friends, with our family, our wives, our loved ones, our coworkers, our business, whatever it is you want to be successful in. All the information you have, you got to execute it. You got to use it, and you got to be consistent. You got to use it every day, every single day. Execute, change, make it happen.
That's right. You know, I actually did something that might surprise all of you guys. I actually went ahead and invested with Jesse Itzler. So this is something that I was thinking about for the past 2 days. Ever since the moment he did his presentation, I was hesitating. You know, thinking about, should I really do this? In the back of my mind, I was thinking, I easily spend $297 on, going out to eat, whether it be McDonald's and spending gas, movies, exactly. I don't think twice about doing that. But for some reason, I was thinking twice about, investing. But then I had Josh, in the back, just saying, commit now, figure it out later. And so, finally today, today was the last day. So I felt that sense of urgency. Today's the last day. You're not going to find a deal like this. So what I did was I finally invested. I just went ahead and took that leap of faith, and so now I'm getting ready to go ahead and check my email, see what's the next step in my life, and go from there. So I advise all of you guys, just go ahead and commit now, and the blessings are going to come through. I promise that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't be more proud of you than that.
Thank you.
And that's going to touch upon something Grant mentioned that we here at Photo Booth International abide by, which is everybody on the same page.
Yes.
Josh reads a book. I read a book. He reads a book. We all invest in each other. We all invest in the company because we believe in it. If you don't have everybody on the same page, you have one person that's cancerous, or you have another person that's just in it to clock out directly at 6 o'clock, whatever it may be.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Like, if your employees are clocking out at 6, what time do you think they really clocked out?
5 o'clock. Yeah. They're watching their watch on that last hour go by.
Yeah, they really clocked out at 5.
Definitely.
This doesn't even apply to your workers or anything. It could be. It also applies to your spouse, your children. Get everyone on the same page, and that's truly the message that I felt today.
Yeah. So Grant talked about 3 things about the people who are around you. So the 3 categories: people who support me, people who talk about me. Oh, he got a big business, blah blah blah, and then the people who don't do shit with me. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through my Facebook, and I'm going to turn my Facebook into an online store, and I'm going to be posting all my products, my services, all that stuff in there. And if people are not sharing it, I'm going to start deleting people out there. So it's going to come down to you needing to support me. And if you're not, then you need to get out of here.
Two choices. You're either with us or against us. You want to be with us because we're going nowhere but the top.
Top up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Top and to the right, yeah. Definitely.
So one of the things that Grant spoke about was, one being, get everyone on the same page, as well as finding a role model. And in this case, since you're being in the photo booth business, you want to find someone who's already done this. They went through the steps. They grinded out. They came from nothing, and they went from a 7-figure business. And that person would be Josh. I don't know why anybody else would look anywhere elsewhere. What other information they need, when everything they need is right there at the tip of their fingertips. All they have to do is just go to the website and ask for that information, and we're there to help you guys out.
What's the website?
Photoboothint.com.
And JP Inner Circle.
And JP Inner Circle. Also, don't forget this, PBI Experience.
The PBI Experience.
The PBI Experience.
.com.
That's one thing that I recommend most heartily. If you truly want the experience, if you're truly serious, the PBI Experience is the way to go.
So how did you feel so Alex invested his own money, his personal money that he makes working here with us. This is your sole source of income, working at Photo Booth International.
Right.
And so, how'd you feel when you swiped that card and invested in yourself?
I was honestly scared. The first time I didn't go through because, I was out of the state, and so maybe, some of you might be out there thinking, this might be a warning sign from the universe, not saying to do this. But for some reason, just pursue it consistently, just push through, there might be that goes to show, there might be a little blockage in the road, but just go around that, go through that, and then, overall, I was just nervous. I was sweating. I felt sweat on my nose, sweat on my forehead. But I'm honestly glad I did that. Now I don't have to look back. I'm not going to look back.
But how much are you going to make on that? The cost was $297, right?
The cost was $297.
Now, how much are you going to make on that?
I don't think that's something you can put a price on.
But let's say you're gonna make more than that on it, right? Because it's gonna shift your mindset.
Oh, it's definitely gonna shift my mind. If this presentation just already shifted my mindset, then imagine the valuable course. Imagine the actual hands-on training that he's gonna provide to me.
And one-on-one training. He said, right? Calls.
Yeah, you get to talk to him.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good. Yeah. So you bought an Express jacket recently, right? I want to talk about this Express jacket because Alex is not he is not used to spending money on himself, right?
No, I don't.
And that's, a lot of people, I think, have that problem. Even myself.
I don't have that problem. My wife has that problem with me, but I don't have that problem. I was the guy who would spend $150 at the job I worked at and leave with vinyl, so my paycheck basically went straight to my record
collection. Take it off my check.
Yeah. No, I was in debt to the company just for records I bought.
Oh my god.
Alright, so Alex, you bought this Express jacket. How much did you pay for that jacket?
I paid Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I paid almost $200. I even bought expedited shipping.
Okay, so $200 for this jacket.
I did.
Right? Now, this course that this person who's made, what, millions of dollars, multi-millionaire, right, that you saw at a conference about growing yourself, his course was $297.
Yes.
Did you give the amount of emotion, the same amount of emotion when you bought that jacket as when you bought the course for $297?
That's a good question.
When you say the same amount of emotion, like, do you mean...
Like, you know how it took you 3 days?
What was the effect?
3 days.
How did you feel when you bought that jacket versus how do you feel now investing in that program?
I honestly, I feel the Express jacket was something like... The Express jacket was something I was looking at something for, for a couple of months now, It was something that I couldn't necessarily afford. It was super nice, but...
But when you made that decision to buy it, were you fighting with yourself in your head?
No, I wasn't fighting with myself at all. It was
the last 3 days you were fighting with yourself.
I was fighting. Yes.
So why? Let's get into this. This is what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Everybody struggles with this, right? Josh, if you want to help everybody, why don't you give the inner circle away for free? Okay, this is the reason. Nothing.
The best things in life you need to work for.
Mm-hmm. Nothing free has ever significantly impacted anyone's life. Okay. You can get stuff for free, you can download a free PDF or whatever, but nothing free is ever going to significantly impact your life. Right?
That's right.
So what made you pull out your card? Was it what I said to you? Like, just commit now?
I think that was the pushing factor. Yeah. That was the pushing factor. Commit now. You've always been by that rule, Commit now and figure it out later. And so that was really what right when you said that, I took 2 minutes just to think about it, and I just like tapped you on the shoulder and I'm like, I'm gonna go. It was a scary moment. I still felt the sweat dripping from my forehead. I was trying to play it off cool. I'm in a nice maroon shirt, wearing some nice slacks. I'm gonna play it cool, but in the inside I was trembling. Should I really do this? I'm losing 297. That's out of my bed. But
tell me what were you thinking? I want to hear these thoughts.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose 297. That's out of my paycheck. That's gone now.
But Alex was gonna drop $1,000 on buying a new iPhone last week.
You brought that point up. That is correct. That is correct. I wanted to be. I'm like, I never had an iPhone, so everybody kept on telling me, "Oh, you should get the iPhone X. You should get the iPhone X."
Did you have that back and forth in your mind when you were gonna drop $1,000?
No, I was just actually waiting for the moment.
Okay, so material objects that we're willing to do that, but yet information from someone worth millions of dollars at a fraction of the cost, 30% of what the iPhone would cost. Right, $1,000. The cost was $300 that you bought. 30%. Yet we take 3 days to make a decision, but we'll say yes to $1,000 iPhone just like that.
Right.
It's something to think about.
Yeah, let that sink in.
This is not a fake story. This is true. This is true.
Yeah. We're not yanking your chain here. And Alex, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Let that sink in. He's 19 and he invested in his future. How old are you? And what are you doing to invest in your future?
What are you doing? Write it down right now.
Do you have a 401k? I don't.
These guys know what they're talking about. These guys know what they are talking about. Trust me. Looking back 7 months ago from when I first started this job, I do not regret it. I'd leave Chipotle once again. I'm sorry to Chipotle owners, but I do it again.
Alright, cool. Let's get back on track. So
next is, Target. What are you going to do? Okay, you bought your photo booth. What are you doing next? Is it just your photo booth rental business? You got to have a target. You never lower that target.
What do you mean by target exactly?
Where you want to go, your target, what you're aiming for. It's your target. It's a bullseye. You got a ring. Think about it like darts. You got several different rings. And everybody wants to aim for what? The center, right?
Right.
They want to hit the bullseye. That's their target. You throw 3 darts, you're going to maybe get around it, maybe get off to the edge. You may even get off to the side of the board and hit somebody on accident. But eventually, over and over again, if you don't stop aiming for the bullseye, you'll hit it. You may just start to say, okay, well, let me try and get around first. And then I'll work my way towards trying to hit the bullseye. It ain't going to happen like that. You're just going to keep hitting around it because you're trained to hit around it. So you never lower your target. You keep aiming for that bullseye until you strike that bullseye. And then what do? You hit it again. Then you hit it again. Then you put 2 boards side by side, say I'm going to throw 2 darts at the same time and hit the bullseye twice. Raise that target.
Yeah, keep raising it. So for you guys out there, what's the target, right? You're going to get your photo booth business. You're going to set a target to make, let's say, $2,000 in your first month, right? That's going to be your target. How are you going to do that? You're going to pick up the phone, you're going to call some people, call some venues, call some businesses, walk around, meet business owners, walk into venues. There's so many ways to do it. But you're going to have that target. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for us to help you, and then stop blaming people, blaming society, blaming the economy. You can't do that.
Yeah. Know your future, have a plan. There's a saying I love where it's nobody goes into the woods without a map. You just don't. You're not going to find your way out.
Yeah. So where are you in the woods right now? You need a map to come out. Go to jpinnercircle.com or their pbiexperience.com. We'll find you your map.
Yeah, Google Maps ain't going to show you.
What you got, Alex?
I mean, one main thing is, why do you want to start a photo booth rental business? You know, is it for the side? I mean, of course it's for the income, but what does the income lead to? Financial freedom. So be obsessed with that freedom, you know, and making a difference. You know, you want to impact your wife's life, your husband's life, and your children's lives. So why take 5 years or 2 years or even 3 years to learn how the process works when you can expedite that? You know, expedite that process with the JP Inner Circle, the PBI experience. Be obsessed, please.
Please. Like that. What else you got?
He had a little bit about talking about a really important thing that I think every single person can do, no matter how successful you are and how amazing you may think you are or other people tell you are, but taking care of yourself. You can't take care of those around you. You can't take care of your future. You can't take care of anything unless you're taking care of yourself. So while investing in a photo booth, while investing in your business, putting into that, you need to be investing in yourself as well. And that's what Alex just did right here. He invested in himself.
Amen. I'm speechless, honestly. I don't know if you guys can hear me stuttering, but
you're overwhelmed, right?
I'm overwhelmed. I really am.
So actually, what?
Yeah,
you know
so that means you got a giant goal.
Yeah.
You got to be overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, that means you have something going on right then and there.
Oh.
If it causes fear, you're on to something.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This goes back to the I believe the second day?
Yeah,
second day of GrowthCon. Invest in yourself till it scares you. Invest in yourself till it scares you.
Yeah, there we go. And that's good. This is going to crap out of you.
I'm shaking.
I was shaking. I thought I was going to fall down the stairs.
Because you got goals, right?
I got goals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So after you did that had fears, did you start forgetting about some problems?
I felt, honestly, right after I did that, you know...
You had a new problem.
I had a new problem. There we go.
You got to refill that.
New problems are good.
That $300. You got to keep your pipeline filled.
That's right.
Yeah.
How am I going to make this up? How am I going to... Let me pick up that phone.
Yeah, you got to go outside the norm.
You know, one thing that inspired me today was right when we walked into the arena, we met one of Grant's people. And I told him how many calls I was making, even with the amount of conversations I have. And he said, that's not good enough. You need to be making 100 to 150 calls, even with the conversations. And I was like, that's 10x.
Bullshit. The first thing in your head was like, wow, maybe, and then you thought 10x.
I like my grifts, and I like my pizza. And I like texting Sandra while I'm at my desk. Shout out to Sandra.
I love you.
Called you out on that one. But that goes along with the execution that we talked about earlier and Grant was talking about. Yeah, you made that number of calls, which is great, and you convert leads and you talk to people, you change lives, but you can always change more and you can always execute more.
Right.
Yeah, you can. Damn. What was that? What I have?
I feel like today went by quick.
Well, it was like an early day.
It was an early day,
yeah.
right?
But I mean, one thing I got here, the problem is the gift. So for all of you out there who feel like you're at a disadvantage, no father, no mother, black, white, Indian, whatever you are, like that's, you know, and you want to blame someone else or a situation or whatever you had in your life, but that in reality is your gift to propel you forward. Alex, you were homeless at one time, right? You told me.
Yeah, I was.
So that does that power you nowadays to keep going?
It does, yeah.
Thinking through the tough times. So, but you don't look at society and tell them like, like feel bad for yourself or whatever. You use it as your fire, as your fuel to keep going, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, and for me, like, we sold everything that we had, in our house, and we moved to this country here. We packed everything we owned in 8 suitcases and moved here. And I want to make sure like my kids don't have to go through that. So I could say, you know what, I was at a disadvantage. I came from Africa. I came from a third world country. Alex, you were born here though, right?
I was born here.
Yeah, you were born here. You had home court advantage.
I was helping my parents. They struggled with language. They couldn't speak English very well. So even when I was 8 years old, 7 years old, I still remember trying to help my parents. Help them translate to people who were trying to speak English to them. And so that was always kind of a hassle a bit, but at the same time, I felt good helping my parents, with that. The fact that, they traveled across the country, across the world.
Gave up everything.
They gave up everything, they left their family there, their mom and dad.
The life that they had, all for you and your sister, right?
Right.
Yeah, mad love to all parents out there. Yeah. Y'all are all our heroes.
You are appreciated, Tupac.
So your history and your past is the gift that should fuel you to be motivated, to push forward, to start your business, to make a difference so that history doesn't repeat itself, right? So that what you went through, your children, your family, your spouse does not have to go through the same thing.
Yeah, and the Josh, you had a choice. You could either quit or give up.
Right.
Which did you do?
None.
That's the correct
you
answer.
Almost had me. All right, guys. So that's any last remarks for the day?
It was just I'm still processing it all. I think I still will for the next week. I'll be looking at my notes and processing it all. I can't stress enough how life changing this actually was for me. I now have a new plan in life at age 36. Rather than being lost, and rather than dream big is great. Dream bigger than big, and I've always done that, but I've never had a plan, never executed anything. And after seeing all these people and what they did, and the fact that there's a correlation to everything, there's a consistency to everything. You go across the board, you look at what every single person does who's successful, and there's numerous similarities. They all do nearly the same thing. So model after that. And after going through this weekend and being that inspired and seeing what they could do, go from negative $50 in your account to $6 million, it's just I still don't know how to take it all in, and it's going to take me a little bit to process it. But now I'm on a set path, and I got new goals that are higher than I ever thought would have been possible throughout my entire life.
Awesome.
You guys have all the information. Third day, what did we learn? Execute. It's your turn now.
It's your turn to execute. So shout out to you guys listening on the podcast. Text us 972-301-2930. Your questions, your feedback. Let us know what you think. Should we keep this type of podcast going? And do a shout out to Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, Sweden, Colombia, Hungary, Norway for tuning in. We appreciate all of you guys out there all over the world listening to the podcast, and we'll keep this going. We want to share everything, share our journey, and if you guys are out there starting, thinking about growing, reach out. We're here to help you. It's your friend Josh signing out.
It's your friend, your best buddy, Alex.
Your even better friend, Lawrence. And I want to leave off with one more thing. For all of you that are listening, you're interested, you have an idea, I want you to, not much left in the weekend, and depending on what country, and you're probably at the beginning of your week already, but go ahead and think to yourself, who could benefit what I'm about to benefit from? And then tell them photoboothint.com.
Yeah. Send us some leads. We'll talk to you later. Take care.